Hi, this is Sheri, and I'm just coming to you with a little bit of information on how to manage the stress and anxiety as we're going through what I call the during phase of this reaction to the coronavirus, COVID 19, and sort of the phase where we have been asked by government officials, or we've taken the choice to close our doors for the health and safety of those that are around us and the health and safety of ourselves as well. And these can be very stressful times. In fact, uh, one of the things that causes the most stress is the absence of the known. It's the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing how long the doors will be closed, not knowing how long our money will last until we call for some desperate times, not knowing how we're going to get the extra financial support that we need. And it's this unknown that actually causes the most amount of stress. And unfortunately, what can happen is there are other things. Stress isn't just in the mind. Stress is also can show some very physical symptoms: dizziness, insomnia, headache, upset stomach. And during these times, you might have a desire to want to just keep on keeping on, keep calm and carry on sort of attitude. And I think that while positivity is very important in these times, what could be detrimental is not really acknowledging that there is something going on. And we're going to talk about how to manage moving through that in just a little bit. But the first thing to do, like most things, is to acknowledge what it is that you're feeling and why you're feeling that way. Throughout the day, it's super important for you also to check in with where you're at. The first thing that I would say is to try to limit your external stimuli. What do I mean by this? Well, right now we're home. We're stuck in our homes, our apartments. If you're like us in New York City, you're in a tiny apartment and don't go out. And there could be a propensity to spend a lot of time either watching the news, trying to get more information, or even, surfing through a lot of the social media stuff, things that people are saying on social media. And I know even for myself, I'll get sent certain videos or articles about what's going on. One article right after another that seem to have conflicting information. And what I was doing at first is it would cause me a little bit of worry. I think the people that were sending me had the best of intentions. They wanted me to know what was going on and try to be careful and take my actions based on what was going on. But the reality is it was actually causing me more anxiety because it left me with more questions. And I have a good mentor and friend who says, in the absence of, he actually says, in God we trust, and in all else there's facts. And I'm certainly not saying anything about the faith with what you believe or don't believe. But what is important is that we have facts to back up exactly what is going on. So I would rely on a few different sources in order for you to get your facts. The first is WHO.int, and that is the World Health Organization website. The other is the CDE.gov. And those are two global websites that will provide you with the latest information of what's happening as it relates to the virus. We're learning more and more about it every day, and doctors are helping us to become more prepared for how to handle it. And I think that that's really important for you, just to stay as close to those facts as possible. The second thing that you want to do is look at your local government pages, because they also are keeping a close eye on what's going on specific to your area, and they'll help you understand what the most important things are that you're doing right now. So the first thing I'd say, as you're trying to manage these emotions and manage this mental discomfort and this stress, is to try to get the facts. The second area that we're spending a lot of time on, in fact, I think it's plus 34% of people are on Instagram, is Instagram or social media. And there's such a conflicting set of opinions that are popping up all over as it relates to what we should or shouldn't be doing. And a lot of these come from our industry peers, and a lot of them are some are facts and some are opinion. And what I've been seeing is that there might be an opinion that's shared, and then there are a lot of people who join in to either sort of lock arm in arms with that opinion, or negate that opinion, or try to speak against that opinion. And what I would say here is that whether you believe with what this person is saying or not, if you believe what they're saying, then I think that that is okay. If you don't, try not to get into an online argument. All it does is sort of perpetuate this sense of stress. And realize that everyone is on their own journey at that moment in time. So when we look even across the United States, what we can see is that there's some states who closed small businesses and salons, while some states are still actually open right now. And there is what I would call some online bullying for people on both sides. Salons that say we should stay open, and these are all the reasons why. Some salons or stylists saying that you shouldn't, and these are all the reasons why. I don't want to provide my opinion. My opinion is personal. I know what I would do, but I think that the best thing to do is to adhere to what the government is saying you should be doing, and they have all of the information on how to sort of flatten this curve of this outbreak, and make it so that it's not impacting so many people on a daily basis. So again, just try to minimize your stress levels by getting as much of the facts as possible. The other thing that I am going to recommend is keeping a journal. And I would write in your journal first thing in the morning, and I would write in it again at night. And the greatest way to use a journal in the morning is something that was written in a book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and you could pick that up. Maybe get an ebook. Don't pick up anything. Maybe get an ebook off of Amazon. I'm sure it's available. And there's something called the morning pages, where you just simply write out everything that's on your mind and get it sort of out of you. You've spent all night. Maybe you've had beautiful dreams. Maybe you've had bad dreams. Maybe you didn't sleep because you're stressed. But try to get these feelings and these emotions out and onto paper. There are some other things that you can do during this period that would be helpful to sort of focus, or is that the word I want to use? Yeah, I'm going to use it. Sort of channel your energy. And I think that that's probably what we really need. As hairdressers, we are used to standing behind the chair, lots going on in the salon, a lot of different stimuli, and now we may be alone in our apartment or with one other person in our apartment, which isn't our normal day-to-day. So how do we do that? Well, the first is to be proactive. So if you were to say, this is my quarantine checklist, the first thing would be, okay, I'm going to make a business building rebirth. I'm going to look at all of the things that worked well in my company before, my salon, my suite, my business, and I'm going to strengthen those. And then I'm going to look at some of the things that actually weren't working that well for me, and I'm going to put together a plan and how to attack those and make them better. That will help you mentally know that you are doing something great for your business. The second thing that I would do is brush up on your skills. I have said this before, like I foliage because it works out well for me. I can make sure that heat is conducted in between those foils. But balayage right at the top there, always end up, with a little bit of warmth. And so now could be the time where I really master balayage. The other thing might be that I want to pick up something new, whether that's doing extensions or a new skill set that I never learned before. Maybe I want to expand my business in a market that has another language, and maybe I start to learn another language. That would be a great resource or use for this time. And then putting together a marketing plan. So you've got your business plan together. Now let's figure out, have I been doing great at marketing my salon, my services, getting new clients in? What could I do to be even better at that? And then reaching out to clients, making sure that you've spoken to every single one of them and scheduled at least one FaceTime consultation with them to help them get through this time. And this is what I'm going to say. The number of times I have been in the education side of this industry for over 20 years, and the number of times I have heard us as stylists not want to attend a business class, not want to, to only want inspirational classes, to not really have a business plan that's thought out is, right now it's heartbreaking. Right now it's really heartbreaking. And I'm hoping that during this time, when you think of your business, you can think about whether you've been great at running your business, and if you have, high five to you, because it's admirable and you should share your business tips with others online. If you've not been so great at it, if you've sort of just slid by, then let now be the proverbial rock bottom. Let right now be the time where you think to yourself about how to go back stronger than before and build a very, very strong business plan that's going to keep you behind the chair with your doors open for as long as you want them to be, with a plan for retirement that's going to give you all you want and more, and with a mindset of being a champion in this industry. That's what I want for you. I want for you to take this time to rebirth you and your salon and your business so that you can come out of this stronger than before, and so that you can really own your space. Because you already do amazing things helping people to feel better about themselves. Now it's time to put you first and your business first, and know that we are here for you, whatever you need. I just wanted to take a minute and break down your future business plan, really being a superhero of your business. And what are those action steps? Well, step one is to identify broad actions that you need in order to achieve your goals. So I'd actually say step 1, step 1A is, what are your milestones? So again, what are the things that have worked well for you that you want to strengthen? And more importantly, what are the things that weren't working well? And what are those goals that you have in order to overcome them? And then you identify these broad actions. So if this is the goal, then what action steps do I need to take to get there? And then you're going to want to break down those broad actions into smaller actions. So if you have other team members that are in your salon with you, then they will maybe take accountability for some of those smaller actions. If you're alone, what is it that you need to do to break down those broader actions into these smaller actions and sort of take them one step at a time? And I think just those 3 steps to start out with are a great place to start to get your mind into the moment of being able to come out of this a superhero. Step 4, work out what could possibly go wrong. So if you have these new steps in place, just identify, like, okay, if this happens, not the scary if this happens, but like, if I'm going to drive my car from here to California, if I have a flat tire, here's how I'm going to fix that flat tire, versus just getting the flat tire and realizing I don't have a spare tire in my trunk. So step 4 is having a contingency plan for anything that might possibly not go wrong. I was trying to say it positively. Not not go right. The fifth step is to take a long, hard look at other things that are happening in your business and to identify whether they're contributing to your overall strategy. So, again, if this is your goal and these are the steps to get there, are there some other things that are happening in your business that aren't actually contributing to this? What's an example? I have a friend who's a hairstylist. She wants to be known as an amazing blonde expert, but she also offers eyebrow threading. And while I think that's a great service to offer, and maybe something that came along with the hairstyle, I think offering it as a separate service whereby a client comes in and takes away her time to just do eyebrow threading, that might not be helping her towards her big overall goal, which is to be a blonde expert. So she might determine that it's best to maybe not do the eyebrow threading at this time because, again, it doesn't contribute to that big goal that she has. So what are the things in your business that you might not want to continue doing because they don't support the overall big strategy? Final part of your action plan should be ongoing monitoring. This is like, what kind of progress have we made? What has worked well? How do we continue to strengthen that? And what maybe has not worked well? Again, all of these efforts are in the mindset of being able to help you channel your energy in a way that's productive to your existing situation, your current situation, and helping you to come out of this a superhero in business with a great mental attitude, with great emotional feelings towards yourself, the industry, and your future. And I'm hoping that it helps just a little bit.